You're home alone on a stormy night, the wind howling like a beast outside your windows, when suddenly the power cuts out, plunging everything into pitch-black silence. Then you hear it, the unmistakable creak of your front door being forced open, followed by footsteps that aren't yours echoing through the halls. That's the nightmare I lived through, a heart-pounding ordeal that tested every ounce of my will to survive. This is the shocking story of the night my house was invaded and how I made it out alive. It was a Friday evening in late October 2024, the air thick with the promise of a major storm rolling in from the Atlantic. I'd recently relocated to this charming yet isolated Victorian house in a quiet suburb of Massachusetts, seeking a fresh start after a string of bad luck in the city. Lost job, ended relationship, the whole 9 yards. The house was a fixer-upper, with its high ceilings, intricate moldings, and a wraparound porch that creaked in the wind. But it was mine, a symbol of independence. My ex, Mia, had been my partner in adventures, but we'd parted ways amicably, her moving to California for work while I stayed east. That night, she was visiting family, leaving me to my own devices. I'd ordered pizza, anticipating a cozy evening with a horror movie marathon, ironic in hindsight. As the first raindrops pattered against the windows, I lounged on the couch, scrolling social media, oblivious to the chaos brewing outside. The storm intensified quickly, wind gusts rattling the old panes, thunder rumbling like distant artillery. Power flickered, then failed entirely, the TV screen going dark mid-scene. Cursing under my breath, I grabbed my phone, battery at 20%, of course, and turned on the flashlight. The pizza delivery app showed the driver delayed, no surprise. I rummaged for candles in the kitchen drawer, their soft glow soon dancing on the walls, casting long shadows that made the house feel even more cavernous. Old houses have character, but they also have quirks, like drafty doors and floors that groan underfoot. I dismissed the initial scraping at the front door as a branch or debris, but when it persisted, a rhythmic prying, my instincts kicked in. Creeping to the entryway, phone being focused, I peeked through the curtain. Nothing visible in the downpour, but the sound was unmistakable, someone tampering with the lock. My pulse quickened. Burglaries weren't uncommon in the area, especially during storms when response times slowed. I backed away silently, dialing 911. The operator's voice was a lifeline. "Emergency services, how can I help?" I hissed my situation, voice low, providing the address. Intruder at the door, trying to break in. She assured dispatch, but warned of delays, flooded roads, multiple calls. "Lock yourself in a room if possible," she advised. Too late. With a final crack, the door swung open, rain gusting in as a hooded figure entered, closing it behind him to muffle the noise. He was tall, built like a linebacker, clad in dark clothes that blended with the night. Gloved hands, a backpack slung over one shoulder. Professional. I slipped into the hallway closet, surrounded by coats and umbrellas, door ajar just enough to peer out. His flashlight beam cut through the darkness as he moved methodically, starting in the living room. Drawers yanked open, contents spilled, my wallet, keys, loose change pocketed. He muttered curses when finding little of value, his voice gravelly, accented slightly. Eastern European? My mind cataloged details for the police, while fear knotted my gut. The operator updated, 10 minutes out. 10 minutes felt infinite. As he progressed to the dining room, I weighed options. Confront? Hide? The knife block in the kitchen called to me, but crossing the open space risked detection. A floorboard creaked under his weight, and he paused, head cocking. "Anyone home?" he called softly, almost teasing. No answer from me, but my breathing seemed deafening. He continued upstairs, stairs protesting each step. Up there, my bedroom with jewelry from Mia, office with electronics. I seized the moment, easing out of the closet, bare feet silent on the cold wood. To the kitchen, hand closing around a large knife. Security in its weight, but terror in the reality. I'd never fought anyone. He must have heard something, a drip from my wet clothes, footsteps reversed, descending fast. "I know you're here, buddy. Come out, make this easy." His tone shifted from casual to threatening. I hid behind the island, knife ready. Lightning flashed, illuminating his face. Pockmarked skin, cold eyes, a scar across his cheek. He entered the kitchen, beam sweeping. Our cat and mouse began. He circled, I shifted to stay opposite. Tension built, sweat mixing with rain on my skin. Then my phone buzzed in my pocket, Mia's text. The vibration was faint, but in the silence, audible. He pounced. We collided in a frenzy of limbs. He grabbed my shirt, slamming me against the counter. "Give me the valuables," he demanded. I swung the knife, grazing his arm. He roared, backhanding me. Pain bloomed in my cheek. We wrestled, rolling across the floor, dishes crashing. Strength on his side, but adrenaline mine. I elbowed his nose, hearing a crunch, blood spattering. He loosened, and I scrambled away, knife lost in the melee. To the back door, fingers fumbling the bolt. He lunged again, but I kicked back, connecting with his knee. Door open, I fled into the storm, mud sucking at my shoes, rain blinding. The yard was a quagmire, fence a distant shadow. He pursued, shouts lost in wind. Into the woods, branches tearing at me, but distance grew. He was injured, slowing. I hid behind a fallen log, shivering, waiting. Sirens approached, lights cutting through trees. Police swarmed, finding me hypothermic, but alive. The intruder was caught nearby, car stuck in mud, arm bandaged with my towel. Recovery took weeks. Physical bruises faded, mental ones lingered. Therapy helped, as did upgrading security. Mia returned, our relationship rekindled by the scare. That night taught resilience, the importance of preparation. Share your stories below, like, subscribe. Stay safe. Now aiming for 2,000.